Shoots and Score Hockey Talk, where we talk everything hockey. I am John.
I'm Mike.
I'm Chris.
All right, guys, let's go. Our first topic for tonight's discussion is Connor Hellebuyck and why not of the Winnipeg Jets. Why? Well, because Hellebuyck is out for 4 to 6 weeks for an arthroscopic procedure on his knee. That's the way they listed it, procedure. It's probably like the same thing that I have, only he gets surgery a hell of a lot faster than I will. Now we could potentially see how good, we're going to potentially see how good the Jets really are. Now, you were talking about that, Chris. You sent a message there one day and said, we're going to see how good the Jets really are. I totally agree with you. Now, the Jets, I believe, are 0-2 with Hellebuyck out of the lineup. Is that correct? So, guys, how much is this going to change the Jets push for the top playoff spot? Because I'm sure they were pushing for the top playoff spot. Why don't you start us off tonight, Chris, because you're the one that sent out that message, a few days ago. What do you think?
It's going to be a big hit, right? The last few years, all the analytics have shown that Hellebuyck is the top goalie, saves the most expected goals. The team itself has been, average or below average sometimes, and so far this year it's been below average. And without Hellebuyck, it's already started. They're 0-2. I definitely see them being under 500 for the spell of games that he is out. I don't think there's any doubts about that. The team has holes. Hellebuyck kind of filled those holes with his play, and now they're going to be exposed going forward. And no, there's no top spot for them. This could be enough to force them to be scratching and clawing to try to get a playoff spot come into the year now.
Really? So you think it's going to make that much of a difference?
Oh, yes.
All right, Mike.
They might, like I said, I don't know what, 4 to 6 weeks. So they might go 2-10, 3-9 in that spell, right? This could be a rough patch for them.
Okay, fair enough. Mike, what do you think? Is Chris analytics, is he over-analyzing all this, or are they just going to finish 500 and then Hellebuyck comes back and the Jets surge to top spot in the conference? What's going to happen here?
No, this is really going to be a big hit for them. They weren't playing great before with them. They were playing slightly above average, and now they're not going to be above average at all.
I think I looked the other night and they were only 3 games up over 500.
Yeah,
Is that right?
they weren't. Yeah, so I mean, and Hellebuyck didn't get off to the start this year that he did last year. So maybe this is something that's been bothering him, throughout the season so far. Who knows? I mean, for them to just up and decide, oh, he's out of the lineup. Like, I mean, at the time he hadn't missed any games, so other than the regular games that they play the backup goalies. So, it's a big hit for them. Like Chris said, they're not going to be a 500 team or better while he's out. They'll be definitely below 500, which is going to put them in the position where they're going to be fighting for those last playoff spots. I mean, the standings are fairly close already amongst a lot of teams for those spots, and Winnipeg's going to fall into that category where they're trying to stay ahead, but without Hellebuyck in nets, that's definitely going to be a challenge. I don't even know who they have as a backup goalie now. I mean, other than after Comrie.
Well, I was going to ask you who the backup was now to the starter.
I don't even know who it is, to be honest with you.
Really? Wow.
Nothing.
So it's not somebody
stands out of anybody that's like NHL caliber, anyways. So
now you were saying that in one of the hockey pools that you and Chris are both in, that Chris was having some goaltending injury. So I'm assuming he's going to be looking for goaltenders. Is that somebody that Chris might want to pick up, the backup to the backup for the Winnipeg Jets?
I'm sure
I already have Comrie. And I'm already like, come on, Carter Hart, get activated so I can drop you.
That's pretty good. So neither one of you know who the backup is, though. Okay, so should be interesting. Maybe they're going to put one of the players in there.
I don't know who they called up. I mean, aside from him getting hurt, I hadn't really paid attention to who they called up to be the backup, but it's not going to be anybody that's going to get very much playing time.
Okay. All right. Well, now I want to just propose something to you two gentlemen and see if you think I'm crazy here. Let's say they get through this stretch and they finish 500. I know you both think that that's highly unlikely or not even possible.
Yeah.
Entertain me for a minute. Let's say they finish 500. Does that pretty much guarantee them a playoff spot?
All depends
No.
where they are in the standings.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
if the teams that are battling with them don't step up, maybe. But I
Man.
still think they're probably. I don't want to say they're a guaranteed playoff team right now, not with this, but they're going to be in the battle for one of those wild card spots because they are going to take a hit here. I mean, yeah. So
Okay. All right. Okay. That's good enough. We'll go on to our second topic. And before I just got to do something, gentlemen. All right. Okay. Well, with that, we'll go on to our.
I'm just checking
Well,
the 5-on-5 goals for, goals against for the Winnipeg Jets, because I know earlier this year people were saying they were really bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
What is it?
they're there with the Maple Leafs, the Blackhawks, the Islanders for no offense and no defense quadrant, 5-on-5 for the Winnipeg Jets. So no, losing Hellebuck and not playing very well. It would take a big time reversal for that team to start
Right.
playing the
Well, they
way
would
it's
have to start
playing.
playing really well, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, and I don't. Last couple of years, they've been average or less than average, and I just don't see that turning around.
Okay. No, that's fair. We'll go on to our second topic. We'll leave Hellebuck and the Winnipeg Jets alone. We don't talk about Winnipeg very often, so you had mentioned it. I thought that was a good question for tonight's discussion. So we'll go on to our second topic here. Yeah, this Mikko Rantanen was suspended one game by the NHL on Sunday. Now, Rantanen received the automatic ban for receiving a second game misconduct in the physical infractions category. I didn't even know that existed before I read all this. Before playing 41 consecutive games, I'm like, good Lord, where did all this come from? He will be ineligible to play when the Stars visit the Edmonton Oilers on Tuesday, which is tonight.
All right.
And I have a couple questions here now. Should Rantanen have been suspended for longer? And is that punishment correct? Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I was fully expecting to find out that he was going to get a call, a hearing, and get 3 to 5 games. The rulings that you just mentioned, I wasn't aware of that, but 2 dangerous
Well,
plays back
I
to back.
dug deep. I had to dig deep.
But for that to happen in less than 3-4 days in between the 2 incidents, like repeat offender, I'm not sure. I was surprised. The first guy is out. Isn't he out 4 to 6 months, separated shoulder or shoulder surgery?
Is that what it was? I didn't hear that.
Romanov.
4 to 6 months.
And the other player, he had
Post.
a nice cut right across the nose with stitching and everything, and another dangerous hit. I'm surprised they didn't take a step back here and say, okay, maybe you need to sit a few days. I find one game is not sufficient for this, and I was kind of surprised.
Mike, what do you say?
yeah, I was thinking that he was going to get at least 3 games and no more than 5. So in that 3 to 5 range, but I was expecting 3. Um,
Same here.
I know that the NHL now has kind of these, I don't know what type of guideline they use, but there's specifics for how many games a player can be suspended for based off of their history that they have. And I mean, Rantanen's never been suspended before.
Well, he sure made up for it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is they fined him on another note for diving because he
Oh, I
was a
didn't know that.
repeat offender for embellishment. So they fined him. I think it was $1,000 or $2,000, whatever it is. Nothing that's going to make a dent. But yeah, for this though, I thought he was going to get 3 games. I mean, the first one. I mean, the argument has been made that the person behind him kind of clipped his skate when he ran into Romanov, but whether his skate was clipped or not, he was going to wipe him out. So
It's not supposed to matter, though. If you're supposed to be in control of yourself, right? So it shouldn't
yeah,
matter. Somebody
So,
hit your skate.
you
What
know,
do you do?
there was talk that, you know what, the person that behind him that clipped his skate put him a little bit off balance, and that's why it happened. But you know, either way, in my opinion, he was gonna smoke him. Um, and then the last one, I mean, you know, back to back games basically. So
Right.
I was really expecting 3 games because of the close proximity of the amount of games that uh, it was like back to back. So you know, but I mean, I think he got off easy. Luckily for Dallas, I mean, he's their best player. Him and Robertson are on a roll there. So you know, yeah. So I think he got lucky.
So did he get the superstar treatment and didn't get the like? I'm shocked. I'm telling you, I saw both hits, and I was thinking, wow, I can't believe that he only got one game. I thought for sure he would. I was so sure he'd get 3 games. I would have bet on it.
Yeah,
Obviously, I would have lost.
If he
I
was
don't know if
Tom
he
Wilson,
got.
I'm sure he would have got 5 to 10 games because of repeat offender.
Tom
Right?
Wilson, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think the
Yeah,
name has definitely played a little bit in the decision making in New York.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike? You agree with that?
yeah. I mean, and the eyes are going to be on him now. His next offense, he's going to get for
Two
sure
games?
3 to 5 games. There's no there's no easy way around it now.
Yeah.
He's already on the radar after these two, so anything else, he's going to get the book thrown at him. Not something ridiculous, but I'd say to his next offense though that's reviewed in some way will be 3 to 5 games.
Okay. All right. Well, the NHL is so inconsistent when it comes to this stuff. I just don't understand.
And just a kind of it probably didn't drive this, but I'm sure it's in their heads, is that after the Stars lost out last year in the playoffs and they changed their coach, is it
Yes.
Glenn Gullickson, I think is the
Gullickson,
guy there
yeah,
now? He's come out to say that he told his guys, "You guys have to be more physical. We have a big team here, and we don't play big." And the Dallas Stars have been hitting a lot more people this year, and I think Ratton's been throwing his weight around. And sometimes when you ask guys who don't usually hit to go hit somebody, things like this can occur, right? So I think
Yeah.
Dallas wants to be known as a little more physical and nasty, and coach is probably happy, and they're just glad that he didn't get suspended.
I think it's awful. Personally, I just can't believe you only got the one game. But I mean, what can we do about it? I mean, all we can do is talk about it here. And I
You
wanted to
can
bring it up and see what you guys thought because I thought it was
send a
ridiculous.
tweet to Bettman. Tell me you're not happy. See what he says.
You send the tweet out. You're the tweeter, the Twitter tweeter.
Go right to
That's
Bettman.
you stirred up the controversy, and we'll talk about it here on the show. That's my
Mm-hmm.
job is to get you guys to talk about controversy. So.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of controversy, we'll go on to our third topic here a little bit. Maybe this is not controversial, but it's kind of unusual. The Calgary Flames, another team we very seldom talk about, how they scored 5 straight goals against the Canucks and won their third game in a row. I just about fell out of the chair when I heard that they had won 3 in a row. Now, what's going on here? Now, could it be that the Flames players are feeling no pressure at all? And in the dressing room, they're just loosey goosey and they're like, hey, whatever, we're just going to go out there and have some fun because we have zero pressure. Nobody's expecting shit from us. Mike, what do you think? Am I crazy?
um, Calgary, I think they just kind of got on a little bit of a lucky streak. This isn't the team that we're going to see moving forward. I mean, the team is not well constructed. Players are playing below expectations. They did get some production out of some guys, like Rasmus Anderson had a great game. I think he had 3 or 4 points or whatever.
I think it
But
was
I mean,
4 points.
he started the year off, terribly, and it's well known that he's probably on his way out of town. He's on the last year of his contract, so the talk was already there in the off season as far as him getting moved. Um, and I think a little bit of that has kind of seeped in and kind of affected the team culture. Is that these guys realize that the team's not that great. There's going to be a lot of their guys getting moved at some point. Kadri's been rumored as well, so Um, when you're on a team and the talk is we're not going to do anything this year, we're going to kind of go through the motions and then end up making moves, because that's basically what the feeling is in Calgary. And if you watch any of the sports shows, that's all they talk about is when's Calgary going to make their moves and that sort of thing. So, I just think maybe like you said, these guys just have been like, okay, well, let's just go out and do whatever we can do, and hope for the best. But yeah, you're not going to see Calgary winning 3 games in a row at all. If it, you know,
Chris?
Have you guys seen their goalie Devin Cooley interviews after a couple of these wins?
I saw one, but to be honest, I wasn't really paying full attention to
I
it.
did
So,
not.
He is an extrovert, happy go lucky, joyful, just yapping away at the I'm sure both those interviews went over a minute, and they asked one question, right? And he's just blah blah blah, blah and he's full of energy. Um, Maybe it's the Cooley effect. I don't know, but he comes off as somebody that very personal, um, and I like watching it. I was watching this guy. I'm like, who is this guy? And he kept saying, talking, and they showed Devin Cooley, and I was like, who's Devin Cooley? That's when I found out he's the backup quarterback, backup goalie for the Calgary Flames. But yeah, I know a friend of the show, Claude, really likes Matt Carnetto a lot.
Coronado,
And
yeah,
he had a horrible start, but now I think he has 4 goals in four
yeah, he's
straight
picked
games,
up.
right?
Right,
So,
right, yes.
but yeah, your best players are playing and scoring, you're going to win games. Problem is, the rest of that team is going to level off and they'll go through their losing streaks again, right? Unless Dustin Wolf, starts playing like he did last year. This team is still destined to be, probably in the bottom 3, 4 in the league. And once again, I hope they get the first pick in the draft because they could really use that franchise player going forward.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Calgary. We very seldom say anything about Calgary. They've been, except for how awful they've been. So winning 3 games in a row might be like their Stanley Cup playoffs. So, we'll see what happens. All right, let's go on to our fourth topic. Now, when I look at the overall standings here for Canadian teams, because it's kind of what I keep tabs on the most here, how are the Canadian teams doing in both
Yeah,
conferences?
not the
The only
Habs.
team, the only team I really see in their spot that I thought, or that we kind of thought would be in the spot that they're in, really would be the Ottawa Senators. They're in that fifth, sixth, whatever spot, probably in the conference. It's kind of where I thought they would be. Somewhere's in there, fighting for the playoffs, maybe a little bit better established. Now, Ottawa, they have a few injuries, not a lot, but Tkachuk is hurt, and now he's coming back. I know he's skating, and he's going to play here soon. How much better could Ottawa actually be with Tkachuk in the lineup? Mike,
Oh, they'll
can
be a
they
lot
move
better.
up the standings?
He's a difference maker on that team, so the team's going to be much better with him in the lineup compared to him out of the lineup. So yeah, they can definitely move up in the standings, and the reason why is when you look at the Eastern Conference. I mean, the gap between teams is what between the
6
top teams
points or
and
whatever, 5,
close to the bottom teams, like 4 points difference.
4 points.
So there's lots of room to move up um, when you can string a few wins together there, because it's just so close. And that's the same thing when you look at Montreal. I know they've gone on a bad run there. Not unexpected, I would say, but they're still in the thick of things, even though they've lost a few games in a row. Toronto, same thing. Like, they've lost a few games, but they're still not far. A couple of wins, and they're right back in the middle of it. But like you said, Ottawa is the one team that's kind of uh, been where we thought they would be. The other teams are either basically they've all dropped off, like out of all the
Yes.
other Canadian teams. So none of them have
Yep.
stepped up and taken the step forward. So
Right. And maybe Montreal is a close second. I mean, they've played well, got a little.
Montreal's pretty much in the range where we thought that they would be. I mean, some people thought, they'd be a playoff team this year, and I mean, I I
Not
never thought
Chris.
they would be a playoff team, but I knew they'd be in the mix, and they're still in the mix. So, however,
All right.
they definitely need to get some more consistent goaltending. And I know last time that we talked, I think I had said something that Montembeault gives up a goal in the first couple of shots every game, and sure enough, the
Right.
game right after, he let in a goal at the 1 minute mark, and I'm like, yeah, like what is it? What is he got to do? Like, I don't know if it's nerves or it shouldn't be if you're playing in the NHL for as long as he's been in there. But to give up goals so fast, so frequently, I mean, you're putting your team in behind the eight ball right off the get go. So it's tough to come back when you're always down 1-0 a minute into every game.
Right. Right. Chris, what do you think of my analysis of the Canadian teams here?
Yeah, well, for the Ottawa Senators, my answer is going to be status quo. They are a few games above 500 team, and I think that'll continue with Tkachuk arriving. Um, while Tkachuk is their captain and might be their best player, he can also be their worst player in times, as we've seen him get a little hot-headed and take a lot of bad penalties and put his team in trouble. Good player, but overall, I just he's like a child on the ice, and I don't understand why he's the captain of that team. You don't want a child as your captain; you want a man, and he's not a man at all. Um, so yeah, he'll come in, he'll put some points on the board, win them some games, and there'll be some games they're going to lose, and you're going to be like, "What was the Chuck doing there? What was he thinking?" Right? So I say status quo. They'll be fighting for a playoff spot. There'll be a few games over 500, but I don't see a big leap because the Chuck comes back. No.
All right. Okay. That's fair. Fair. That's why we ask the questions, right? To see what you guys think. So, and it's nice when you and Mike disagree a little bit
Oh,
because you guys are on the same path way too much. And I try to get you to disagree sometimes on purpose by
mhm.
stirring the shit pot, and you guys don't usually take the bait. So I appreciate the discussion here tonight about that.
And on that Montembeault guy, isn't his save percentage like 863 or something?
Yeah,
So
it's in
yeah,
the 800s. Every
yeah,
time you say that, I make sure I put Blow's picture up on the screen.
Montembeault.
So
Yeah.
all right. Okay, guys, let's go on to our Hockey Profit segment where you two are the Hockey Profits, and that's because I say so, and it's my show, and no one can tell me otherwise. So, Chris, are you ready for the Hockey Profit segment?
Yep.
Okay, number one, Chris, on the 24th of November, Flames defenseman Rasmus Andersson was named the NHL's first All-Star of the Week.
I got on
because
my
he had
hockey
4
pool. I was
points.
happy. I was happy for the
Oh, you
points.
had him in the Hockey Bowl.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to know, was Anderson a good choice to win that award for that week?
Who else had a great week last week? Who are the other contenders?
I don't have the other contenders down. I just figured you guys would know.
Oh, no, I agree. Cooley had 4 goals. So I guess this is now this week.
Right.
Um, Anderson is extremely, extremely streaky, and right now he's on that streak. Because last year he was terrible, and the year before he had a first 20, 25 games where everyone thought he was one of the best right shot defensemen out there, and the Flames should trade him, and then he did, 6 points in the last 60 games. So,
Oof.
yeah, he
That
got
is
a lot of
strange. Sure.
assists. He's on the power play. Um, I don't
So
know who else had a real great week last week. I can't think of it, but
I should have looked it up. I never thought to look up anybody else. But
since he was on my hockey pool, yes, I noticed all the points,
right. Okay.
all my defensive points going up. But I don't know if anyone else had a real good week last week.
All right. Well, we'll go on to number 2 then, Mike. Now, this is the Sportsnet headline, Mike. Yeah, I know. Here you go. You can roll your eyes. Canadians make no risk, no brainer move for Texier.
Yeah, I saw that.
Is Sportsnet and Eric Engels, because he's the one that wrote the article, are they right, Mike? Is this a no risk, no brainer move for the Montreal Canadiens?
He's a depth guy, so I mean, it's not like he's going to come in and start potting points. He's not a
What, he's
top
not going
two
to play on the top 2 lines and start scoring goals?
He's not a top 2 line player. I mean, if he was, he wouldn't have been let go. Um, He's a third line, fourth line depth player. He's not going to be changing the game in any way for that team. And if they think he is, then they need to start really analyzing who they've got in charge there. If that's what they think, if they think Texier is going to come in here and be a difference maker, I'm sorry. There's too many teams that have given up on him and let him go. This isn't going like he was started off with Columbus. They let him go. He went to St. Louis afterwards, and now they let him go. So, if he was that good, he'd still be on one of those two teams. So,
didn't he go to Europe? Didn't they send him back to
he
Europe, or he went to
might have
Europe for a
stayed
year
in
or two, and before coming back, it's
I believe so. I think after Columbus, he went back over to Europe.
So what's going on here then? Why is Sportsnet? Why are they reading this like this is going to make the big difference? It's and this is a quote here. I'm quoting this. Make Canadians make no risk, no brainer move.
Well,
probably because of the injuries, I'm guessing.
That's the only thing is like they're missing Kirby Doc and Alex Newhook, so they need, somebody with NHL experience would be an asset, but he's not going to be a difference maker. So if they're saying he's going to be a difference maker on this team and help them, win games, I don't see it.
All right. Well, Eric Engels, Mike has just told you to F off.
It's called Eric Engels is the team. He's just hyping it up, right?
I know.
This player is super special. Every other team is dropping the ball. We got him. He got him cheap. Watch him flourish, and then a month from now, he's going to be on waivers and heading back to Europe. So,
okay, all right, Chris, we're going to go on to number 3. Now, I don't know exactly how you pronounce this, so I'm just going to spell it out. The DAZN network or DAZN network.
DAZN.
Well, they show all these games, I know, and they have a ton of games, and they show for X amount of dollars. They also have a power rankings list. I don't know if you knew that or not, Chris. Yes, they do. And I use
DAZN for football, for NFL football, to watch my tight ends go, 0-17 this year. But I didn't know they had a hockey thing. Yeah.
They do. They have a power rankings list, Chris. I'm going to tell you the top 5 teams. I'm going to name them in order from best to the number 5. Okay.
It better be Colorado and Carolina 1, 2.
Colorado's number 1.
Not, they've lost me already.
Colorado's number 1. Carolina's number 2.
Okay,
Dallas is number 3.
Yeah.
Anaheim is number 4. And number 5 is the New York Islanders. Should the New York Islanders be the 5th-ranked power team in their power rankings, Chris?
So the old issue with power rankings, especially the ones that they change every week, right?
This is one that they change every week, yes.
Yeah. So it's more in line of how a team is doing. It's some accumulation of to this point in time, but they'd also like to look, hey, did some team go 3-0 last week? Oh, they've got to move up the power rankings, right? I'm assuming the Islanders went 3-0 or 4-0 in the last week or something and doing well. But it's not it's not a true power ranking of where the teams are going to finish, right? That's the thing about these type of ideas. So I don't even know what's the Islanders' record. Are they in the playoffs right now? Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Yep,
they're in there. All right. So based on that, sure, you could put them 5, but when the season's all done, they'll be 15 to 25, somewhere in that range. So.
All right. Okay.
But I like the first 4. The first 4 is
Colorado, Carolina, Dallas, and Anaheim.
I don't know if I'd have Anaheim up there now. They've kind of started to hit a little bit of a wall.
Yeah, I think they won 2. I think they won 2 or 3 last 4. Yeah, they're still scoring goals. Cutter Gauthier is just.
They are. But
he's just one of the best prospects Philly's ever drafted in the last decade.
Well.
It's the flyer away. You get these guys and then you trade them.
I will say
or you trade the pick that you could have got some of these guys for, and let them go that way too. Or you pick Cam York and don't pick Cole Caulfield. That's the flyer.
Mike, when you have a chance to trade for Jamie Drysdale, you just have to do it. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that he didn't produce 1 iota in Anaheim. He was picked 5th overall in the draft. You got to go get that guy. He's got to do it.
That sounds like some other people we know that would think that way.
Daniel Briere masterclass. That's what I call that.
All right. Okay. Let's move on here. Now, Mike, I've got a real easy one for you. You're going to love this. Hot or not? The Minnesota Wild, Mike, are they hot? They've been winning games lately.
Yeah, well, their goaltending's hot. Um,
Is that what's keeping them in this? Is it the
Absolutely.
goaltending?
Wallstedt's been on fire for the last couple of weeks. Actually, he's probably one of those other players that would have been on maybe the player of the week or whatnot.
Yes, he should have been.
I would think
Yes,
because he
thank
had
you.
two
Yeah, I know
shutouts.
Carolina did score 3 goals on him and show him, he is human, but every other team couldn't score on him. So
Yeah,
yeah, he probably
so
should have been player of the
Yeah,
week.
because he had 2 shutouts, didn't he?
had two
3
shutouts.
now,
Yeah,
Three
3 out of 4.
and Gustafson's played better. He started off the year a little slow, but the last few games he's been a little bit better. So, but I think that's why Minnesota has been better because they're not. It's not like they're tearing it up with scoring a lot of goals.
No.
They're scoring like 3 goals or whatnot a game, I believe. So it's the goaltending there, and the defense. Faber's actually stepped up his game. Started off the year terribly, and now he's looks like he's taken over some of the power play time back. So he's been putting up some points. And the other guys, I mean, Urov has stepped up. He's played a little bit better, the rookie. So, they're getting a little bit more production out of some guys that started off slow and the
All right.
goaltending. So, other than that, the forwards, they're missing Rossi right now. So, someone's got to step up and chip in while he's out of the lineup. So yeah, I think
Okay.
it's majority goaltending that's helped them move the team forward a little bit.
In the Carolina game, it was goaltending. The rest of the team, yeah, Carolina outshot them, outplayed them pretty bad, and it was the goaltending that kept them in for their shootout win.
Yeah, and it seems to me like Kaprizov hasn't been really playing that well. I don't know.
A little drop off, but it's
Yeah,
hard
a
to
bit of a
maintain
drop off,
those high paces, 2 points a game or something. You can't maintain that all year.
especially when you're making the money he's making.
Well, plus I think too Zuccarello coming back has helped out.
Oh,
Yes,
Because
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
he
a good
he
point.
just he's only played a handful of games at this point, 6 or 7 games maybe. So him coming back, that's that extra little bit of offense there. And I think he pretty much came back when Rossi got hurt. So
Okay.
um, and then now, I'm not sure how long Rossi's going to be out for. They had said week to week at the time, so I don't know what his status is. But um, when he comes back, it should give a little bit more balance on the top two lines.
All right. Okay. Chris, number 5. You're going to love this via our discussion last week. Will Rod Brindamore ever be named to a Team Canada team?
doesn't seem like it. No, he can't get a Hall of Fame entry, and he can't get any Team Canada love. They seem to have their old boys network there, and they keep with their own. So no, I don't think RBA will. Even if they, I'm thinking if they win a Stanley Cup, will they have to show him some love? Maybe then, but if they can't win the cup, no, they'll keep him on the outside. He's he kind of goes to by his own beat, right? And I don't think he might fall into what Team Canada wants.
He doesn't fall into their groove.
Yeah,
Like I said last week, he's just not part of the club.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't seem
So,
like it.
okay. And finally, number 6, and I'm sure you two will be very glad when this is all over with, Mike. The Flyers have a really good record. At least this is the record when I looked it up a few days ago. 11-6-3. Did they play the other night? I'm not 100% sure if they played last night or not. Did they play last night?
Flyers?
No,
Yeah, no.
no.
Is that that is the record, right? 11-6-3? Pretty sure. It
That's
was anyway when I looked it up.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
So 11-6-3, and yes, Mike, I know they've played some bad teams, and but they seem to look good doing their thing. Mike, what has surprised you the most this year so far about the Philadelphia Flyers team? Because there's no way you would have said 21 games into the season, 20 games into the season, no 21. There's no way you would have said that they would be 11-6-3. No way. And I'm sure you would have given me odds.
All right. So, couple things as far as the Flyers that's surprising. One, Dan Vladar looks like he is a number one goalie. At least
And you
on
said
the
he was
Flyers.
not.
At least on the Flyers, he does. And his numbers have been really good. So going into the season, was I expecting numbers like this out of him?
No.
No, not at all. So that is a big thing there. Number two, and Philly did play last night. They got shut out by Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
right.
remember. Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
but then
4-0
again, they
or
only
whatever it was.
gave up 2 goals aside from the
2-0.
one empty net goal. So it's not like they were, terrible defensively, but they just didn't score any goals. So, and with that being said, moving on, Cam York, I'll be honest, little surprising that he's played as well as he has. So, for him, I think the coaching change has made a difference. Uh, there's no other real explanation behind it. I mean, I'm not a Cam York fan. Um,
We
so,
know.
but he's been fairly solid. He's got like 10 points this year, which leads the Flyers defense, I think, unless Sanheim is right around the same. But it's more than Jamie Drysdale, who, people say that he's got to be the guy to put up the points. But anyway, um,
Wonder
and
who says that.
Who's they? Who's they?
Yeah,
I
who are
don't know.
they?
I don't know. Some people, but
Some Andrew
the other
Sharp. Andrew
thing
Sharp is
too.
they, right?
The other thing too is we're getting some production out of the depth forwards. Brink has been okay. Uh, Cates has been all right. Forster's been playing okay. We're still not getting much out of Owen Tippett, so it is what it is. Mitchkov has been, hasn't played as well as I thought he would this year. I thought he'd start off a little better, but he's got off to a slow start. But he's been playing better lately. Um, Sean Couturier's played well, better than he did last year. So we're getting a little bit more out of some of the guys that didn't do as much last year, um, as opposed to this year. But to be honest with you, without the goaltending, without Vladar playing like he has, this team would very easily be an under 500 team. So the main difference maker for Philly's record has been this. Trevor Zegras has been excellent,
Oh, yeah. He's been really good.
and then you look at the team's record in the shootouts. I don't think they've lost a shootout game yet this year. And Trevor Zegras in the shootout, it's disgusting what he's doing to these goaltenders. He's embarrassing them. And that's, I think Philly's got 3 or 4 shootout wins already this year. So, uh, as far as I'm concerned, if they can get the game to a shootout, they've got a pretty good chance of winning. So,
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
hey, Mike. Side question: Tyson Forster. There's analytics people out there that says that he should be playing on the first line and getting opportunities to play with Konechny. Do you agree with that assessment? Because they believe he's got a lot of potential and he shouldn't be stuck with Cates and Brink on the third line.
I think he does have potential to be on the first line. The thing is with the Flyers is their line construction, it changes so often. And I don't think they really know. I don't think they really have guys that really mesh well together that you can say, okay, this is our line. They don't have like a Kucherov and a Point and whoever they put with them. Basically, it's a lot of trying to figure out the right chemistry there. Because I mean, Zegras is a certain style of player that needs to play with some guys that are a little bit better defensively because he's not a strong defensive player. So, there's a lot of mixing and matching, and, same thing with Konechny. Like, he's got to play with guys that can kind of, not say get him the puck, but I mean, he's not a generator. He's more of a player that needs to play with guys that are going to equally contribute to the line. So that's the thing with the Flyers. Like I said, they mix and match their lines so frequently. Should Forster get a shot at the first line? Sure. But what's really the Flyers' first line and second line? There's not a huge difference between the two. So that's the thing there. But I think Forster's played well. He's got a good shot. He's not afraid to shoot. And, that's what this team needs. Like, I mean, the amount of shots that they take, and I think they have one of the lowest shots per game average in the NHL.
Well, when we were talking about it a few weeks ago, they were the lowest. Now,
Yeah,
I know that's
they're
3
still
weeks ago
down
or
there.
whatever.
I mean, they and I watched not the game against Tampa, but the game before that they played. I forget who it was against now, but they were passing up chances between the face-off circles to make a pass down low in the corner. I'm like, shoot the puck. Like, why are you making a pass to a lower percentage area when you're in a high percentage area? Shoot the puck. Like, I don't get it. So, and I mean, I know Tockett's, ranted at them a little bit about taking more shots, the defenseman getting more shots on goal for tips and deflections and that sort of thing. So I don't know why you have to drill this into their heads so frequently to shoot the puck. Like, they're not a high skill team that can work passes around left and right. Like you see Tampa with Kucherov and Point and Hagel and these guys. They don't have these guys. You need to take
Colorado.
shots when you get your chances. So anyway, it's always going to be a work in progress here in Philly. But Zegras has been, without Zegras, without Vladar, this team would be, in the Calgary range of points. And I'm not kidding.
You thought they were going to be in the Calgary range at the beginning of the year anyway, or close to it.
Absolutely. But, Zegras.
And the year's not over, obviously. But
no. And I mean, Zegras has exceeded expectations. Vladar's exceeded expectations. And the other guys are chipping in just enough, like the depth guys like Brink and Cates and Forster and, guys like that. They're chipping in just enough to keep this team as competitive as they are. And I mean, I think a lot of their games are probably fairly close. Flyers aren't blowing anybody out of the water. So, so far so good. I still don't see them as a playoff team, as optimistic as I'd like to be. But can always hope, I guess.
Hope is what we are full of here on our Shoots and Scores Hockey Talk. That's what I'm full of anyway, hope. So is there anything else you guys wanted to go over about with tonight's discussion before we call it an evening? Chris, is there anything else you wanted to add? Or
So, yeah, you mentioned the record, right? 11-7 and whatever.
11-6-3, but obviously now it would be 11-7-3,
right.
Yeah.
So when you look at NHL standings these days and you see the wins, the losses, and the overtime losses, do you add the losses and the overtime losses? So when a team is 12-8-4, you say, oh, they're 12-12. They're a 500 team. Right. Or do you really consider because I'm irritated when I hear people say, oh, they're above 500 team. And they say I'm like, well, no, they're below 500. They have lost more games than they won. And then you can get into the whole regulation wins. Oh, they only had 3, because there's some team out there only has like 3 regulation wins in 18 games or something. I can't remember the team. And I was shocked when I heard that.
I know that.
How do you guys see it? Because I see you add the
show, Claude. Friend of the show, Claude, does he adds the losses out of the other category.
Yes.
I usually don't. So as you probably know.
So you're one of those guys. You're the optimistic.
Well, it's when I want it to look a certain way, when I'm trying to push a narrative.
Yeah, it's like accounting. It's like accounting.
I push the buttons the way I want, so yeah.
Well, just so you guys know, out of the Flyers' 11 wins, only 5 of them are regulation wins.
So that's kind of like what Mike was saying. They're just squeezing by. The shootouts are helping. Shootout team.
There's no shootouts in the playoffs. So.
Is it Montreal? Is it Montreal that only has 3 regulation wins in like 18 or 19 or something? That stat popped up on my feed one day, and I was
Montreal
like, wow.
has 6 regulation wins out of their 11 wins. So,
but I wonder if 3 of those were early and then this big streak. Because I said it's not the whole season. It was like the last 16, 18, and it could have been Montreal, but I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. But the regulation wins it's a key. It's a tiebreaker at the end of the season, but it also kind of – that's why I say, you should add those 2 loss columns as losses and treat that, but then you also got the next level where How many times have they won in regular time?
I'm trying to make the Flyers look good here, so I'm going to say 11-6-3.
So anyway, just wanted, I'm sure everybody looks at those standings differently and they have their own opinions, but you should be adding the two loss categories. So when you try to, you can't tell me, oh, they're over 500 when they're not, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and the Flyers have
I
won
can't.
4 shootout games, so
I can do it. Trust me, I can do it.
You can do it. You can do it. Well, I think for your Leafs this year, you're going to really need to fudge those numbers to make them look positive.
Listen, I've got the fudge already in the fridge, getting ready to mark up the calendar. So
Are they officially lost now? I think they're last now, right?
they're last in
Charlotte?
the conference.
Yes. Yeah, because Carolina
Yep.
lost to somebody, and Buffalo didn't look too bad. I know Carolina didn't play great, but Buffalo has scored a lot of goals, like 3-4 games in a row now. Here, they're just
Yeah, well,
Thompson is on fire.
if they
The
win
whole
a couple
team.
more games during this week, we're going to talk about the Buffalo next week as another team we very seldom talk about. We talk
Yeah,
about Gage
and
Thompson a little bit, but not much.
the defenseman there, the big guy, Samuelson. His
yeah.
analytics is like through the roof. Everyone's like, this guy's, they were talking about buying him out last year. Now his analytics is just
Now
excellent.
he's raging up a storm.
He's him again, right? He's him again when they signed him to that 8-year deal, and they're like, oh, that's a good deal for him. But anyways, yeah. Sorry for the Leafs. It's not looking good.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
San Jose is the other team that's only won 5 regulation games out of their 11 wins. So, and I mean, their young guys have been playing really well. Celebrini and Smith, and they're really carrying that team. So, and Askarov's played really good. So
They could really do something here in a year or two, in a season or two. They could
Oh yeah,
really
them
rack
and
it up.
Anaheim are going to be, yeah.
if,
Yeah.
if
Be a
they
problem,
can
probably.
pull a few veterans that still have some good mileage left on them onto that team,
Not
yeah.
Jeff Skinner,
His mileage ran out
not
years
John
ago. Against
Klingberg.
South Carolina, I think his mileage was gone. So, but that's the thing with San Jose. And I mean, I know we talked about this, I think last year, Whitey, with, Chicago, with Bedard, like guys
Yep.
like that, you should be able to pull some guys in because, it's like when Crosby went to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Getting players to go there to play with players of that caliber makes it a little easier. If you're trying
Didn't
to
you have
sell,
Gary Roberts? Didn't you have Gary Roberts show up in Pittsburgh when Crosby was there?
yeah, Gary Roberts, he was in Pittsburgh there way back when. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Pretty sure he you need the mentor, right, with the young players. Just someone to kind of
yeah.
guide the ship a little bit.
But yeah, if San Jose can start getting in some veteran guys that still have a little runway left on them there, they've got a goaltender who's young and he's good. The
San Jose
defense,
they'll take that jump that Anaheim and
yeah,
Utah
well,
is
that's
taking
it.
this year. Next
Right.
year, that should
Yeah.
be San Jose's jump.
See, in a few years, this whole thing is going to be totally different. It's not going to be the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
Maybe Colorado will still be good. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But maybe Dallas will be done. It's going to flip around. Some of these teams are going to flip around, and they're going to be the ones on top. After so many years being in the doldrums and getting decent picks, right, and getting good players.
Mm-hmm.
If San Jose can pull in a strong defenseman, and I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be shocked if at some point, I mean, here's the thing with New Jersey, the amount of defense they have, someone's got to go.
They got too many.
Ricky Hamilton, he's got to be the guy that goes. He's one of their highest paid guys, and he's lost his spot to Luke Hughes.
Right.
Him going to a team like San Jose would probably be a pretty good fit.
Yeah,
But
Luke Hughes is struggling this year, though. He's struggling. It's Simon
Yeah.
Nemec. Simon Nemec looked good in the playoffs
He's played well. He's
against
played
Carolina last year, and you could tell he has another level to him. And this year, he's showing it.
well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure New Jersey would like to move out of the contract
Yeah.
of Dougie Hamilton, but I'm sure other teams are asking for the other guys like Nemec. They got seems like they got too many defensemen, way too many.
They
gotta
do.
move some
They're
guys
they're
out.
gonna move. They're gonna move one, and I don't think they move Hamilton this year. I mean, they want to contend for the cup, so
Mhm.
I'm sure he's still in the plans for this year. However, in the off season, why wouldn't
They got
San
too many
Jose
guys.
want a player like of Dougie Hamilton's caliber? Like their weakest link is their defense. So,
Mhm.
Something to look into maybe in the crystal ball for the offseason there.
All right, guys. Well, we've talked for quite a while here tonight, which I don't mind because we had a good discussion
You got
on
a
a
lot of
fairly
editing to
slow
do. You got
news
to do a
week.
lot of editing, Whitey.
No, I don't have to do much editing at all. I do very little editing when it comes to this. Very little. I put the pictures up for the players so it can show some stats. And every time you say Montembeau, I make sure I put his picture up. And whenever I say Jean-Luc Picard, talking about Picard, I make sure I put up a picture of Jean-Luc Picard. So, all
Make
right.
it so. Make it so.
Make it so is right. We're going to leave it there for tonight, guys. And like, share, and subscribe. We will see you next week. Later.
Later.
Later.